Hello, this is Mingyang, and I'm going to talk about the awareness and obsession of time. I'm going to mention four writers today, and three of them are from Romanticism and one from Existentialism. First, I'm going to talk about Percy Shelley and his work connected to the West Wind. So, throughout this work, Shelley describes the west wind as a powerful and destructive force. So it drives away summer and brings instead winter, like the storms and death. And yet, he celebrates the west wind and welcomes the destruction that it causes because it leads to renewal and rebirth. So if we see the final line here, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? So the writer, so Shelley believes that death is required for life and winter for spring. So in order to have like the beautiful renewal and rebirth that spring promises, we need the destructive force of the west wind. So only can the winter passes that the spring can come. So it's like a kind of positive ending because the author sees the hope in the cycles of the season. And then we are going to talk about William Wordsworth and his work Lying Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey. So Tintern Abbey is like a poem about nature, but it's also a poem about the author's past, present, and future selves. So the poem suggests that the passage of time leads to loss, but it also leads to the greater understanding of the self, the author himself, and of the world. 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters, and again I hear these waters rolling from their mountain springs with the soft inland murmur once again. So this stanza says that 5 years have passed since the author first visited this landscape, and he writes about how much he has changed in this time. Some terms like he uses to describe his former self are positive. So this suggests that his younger self had a kind of energy and spontaneity that the older self has lost. But he also acknowledged that when he is growing older, the changes that have come with the passage of time, that some of them are also positive. Like he has lost the aching joys and dizzy raptures that he once has experienced, the naive yet exciting emotions, highs and lows of youth. With time, the speaker has learned to look on nature and hear the still, sad music of humanity. So, in other words, we can say that the growing older has helped him to better see and appreciate the beauty of nature and have a greater knowledge of the world. So this poem enacts the passage of time and suggests that these experiences of loss, change, and growth are part of a larger natural pattern. And and the poem begins with a reflection on the past and moves to reflections on the present and then imagines the future. So it kind of enacts a pattern of change, loss, and growth that it describes. So this poem, Tintern Abbey, suggests that the change and loss individuals' experiences occurs within a larger scope of the universe and time itself. Then we move on to Lamartine and his work, The Lake. He conveys the conception of time rejuvenate nature through cycles of the season when we see this stanza. Uh, you whom time can spare or even rejuvenate, preserve noble nature, preserve from this night at least the memory. And the last stanza of the poem uh, shows that the power of time surpasses the capacity of man not only to forget but also to relive the memories. And indeed, the author here personifies time by giving it the ability to be jealous and being fugitive. The last author we're going to talk about is T.S. Eliot and his work, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. And throughout this work, there is a repeated statement, there will be time. And as the speaker contemplates a certain decision and continuously postpone it because he believes he will get more chances for action in the future, but the point symbolic conclusion put an end to his ambition. So the speaker, Mr. Prufrock, believes that there will be time. Time for you and time for me, and time for 100 indecisions and for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of a toast and tea. But as the poem smoothly moves forward, we see him slowly grow old and obsess over his appearance and all the changes that have been brought about by time. Well, some things seem to never change, like the women keep coming and going from the rooms and talk pretentiously about art. And as his time comes to an end, he realizes that he might have missed his chance to act action. As even the sea mermaids on the beach refuse to sing to him, and he finds himself drowning, symbolically. So the theme of hesitation here is directly related to the passage of time. So Prufrock keeps convincing himself that he will get plenty more chances, but eventually realizes that the best time for the action has gone by and he has missed it. That's all. Thank you.